So I was just at the gym, alright, and I saw like all this free stuff at the table. There was like brownies, there was bananas and apples and protein bars. And I was like, I see juice boxes, but I don't see any up and goes. Where the up and goes go? And they were like, oh, it's all gone. We stocked these tables at like 10 a.m. this morning, and now it's like 12:30 p.m. and all these early birds got the up and goes, and now we only got juice boxes. And I was like, why don't you just restock them? And they were like, we ran out. These customers be crazy about the up and goes, and we don't get paid to restock these tables full of up and goes every time they get depleted. And I was like, what if I canceled my membership because there was no up and goes at 12 p.m. in the afternoon? Because I feel like that's early enough for there to still be up and goes. And if there's no up and goes, then I might just cancel my membership. And they were like, bro, we're like this filthy rich gym franchise that got like 5,000 gyms across the world, and you think that we're gonna be losing sleep over one customer that didn't get his up and goes? And I started to see reason, because even if I did cancel my membership because there was no up and goes, they'd still be this filthy rich international success. You know, they got 5,000 locations across multiple countries: Australia, America, and Europe, I think. And they even got some in Asia. So they're really this filthy rich company. And if they lost me as a customer, yeah, it would impact Anytime Fitness in Richlands a little bit, but ultimately it wouldn't make much of a difference. So what I did was I grabbed the protein brownies, and I ate the protein brownies with a carton of milk that I brought from home, and it was really good, you know. I think it was worth it for those protein brownies. They were good. And I also had that Golden Pash juice box. It was also really good. And you know, it's not that big of a deal that there was no up and go, because like just milk and protein brownies, that's already a really solid combination that creates a very valuable product. And milk by itself isn't very valuable, but if you complement it with something else, like obviously the protein brownies that I had, if you complement it with protein brownies, then it becomes a more valuable product, because it's not as dry, and it balances the dryness of the protein brownies that don't taste so good on their own. So I was at JB Hi-Fi recently, and I saw there were these electric scooters, and I saw that one that was, I think it was like $300 off. It was used to be $900 and now it's $600. And I was like, dang, what could I do with an electric scooter that I couldn't do with a car? What could I do with this? And I was thinking maybe I could park the car at the train station and then take the train from Richlands to Brisbane City, and then I could ride the electric scooter from Brisbane City train station to Hotel Indigo and save a lot of time, because walking to Hotel Indigo takes a lot of time, and I could walk the bike up somewhere in the garbage area, like maybe lock it against one of those garbage bins, the handle of one of those garbage bins, and there's no way that someone would steal it when it's locked up against a garbage bin. Or I could just put it in the storeroom and hope it doesn't get stolen. Yeah, I could put it in the storeroom and then I could lock it against one of the metal shelves. There's no way they could steal it. But an electric scooter isn't really worth it if you have a car. And plus, I feel like an electric scooter isn't gonna work forever. Like, eventually the charging port on the electric scooter is gonna get damaged. And so even if you replace the charger, it's still not gonna charge after a while, because the charging port's gonna get damaged. I was looking at the PlayStation 5s and I saw that the digital PlayStation was $100 less than the one with the disc drive, and I was like, oh wow. So like, I could buy the digital version for $100 less, and then I could play all my PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 4 with the disc drive, and then all the next gen games I could buy digitally on the PS5, all digital, and I could be rest assured in the knowledge that I saved $100 on the all digital version, just so I could buy like a couple next gen games that aren't available on PlayStation 4, like Spider-Man 2, Demon's Souls, and like any game that's available on PlayStation 4, I'll just get it on PlayStation 4 physically, and I'll get all the next gen games on the PlayStation 5 all digital. But there's not a lot of space. You have to buy one of those NVMe M.2 SSDs, and that costs a lot of money. And as it is, you can only fit like, what was it, 800 gigabytes of games. That's not a lot. I saw a vacuum at JB Hi-Fi. It was It was just $200. And I thought, how would I transport a vacuum to work every day? Like, that's a pretty big thing to transport. Like, I'd need both hands to take the vacuum with me to work every day. And it's not very portable. And they got vacuums at work. So why do I need to buy my own vacuum? So I didn't buy the vacuum. So Tristan and Triss walk into this temple and they see this goddess of love, and they know that she was entrusted with a diamond of divination that can cure curses, and they ask about it, and the goddess says that they need to overcome a trial before she can give it to them, and they agree. And then Triss is shown this vision of Tristan with this girl named Molly, and it looked like they were gonna do it, but Tristan was kind of pushing her away, and at the last minute, and Molly knew that it was because of Triss, and Molly told this lie about how Triss was fine with them being in a relationship, and apparently this was enough to convince Tristan that what they were doing was fine. And now Triss is convinced that they did it. But Tristan is able to convince her that it's the goddess's deception. She's trying to put a wedge between them. And in the end, Triss believes it. And it turns out that that was the trial that the goddess was talking about. The trial was this wedge that she was trying to put between them. And they overcame that trial. And so she gave them the clue to where the diamond of divination was. And they follow the clue to this wall. And they push a pressure plate. And they go inside. And they see the diamond of divination on a pedestal. And Triss kind of carelessly goes in and grabs it, and it turns out that the diamond's been cursed. And when she touches it, she suddenly thinks that Tristan is like basically thinks that Tristan's like this dark wizard that curses people, and that he's the reason that Anna's cursed. And where Tristan grabs the diamond with a cloth, and it turns out that when you don't make direct physical contact with the diamond, it doesn't work its evil magic on you. And so Tristan's able to wrap it in a cloth and put it in his pocket. And the curse is lifted from Triss, and she realizes that it was the evil influence of that diamond that made her think that Tristan was this dark wizard. And I was thinking that maybe there was a god of curses, and like he was the one responsible for the diamonds that cursed Anna, the girl that they're trying to save from a death curse. He was the one that created the diamonds that cursed Anna, and he heard that they're trying to lift the curse with the diamonds of divination. And so he went to the gods and so he hunted down the diamonds of divination that were entrusted to the gods, and he cursed them. And now I guess no, he just cursed one of the diamonds of divination, and he's on his way to going to curse the next one. And so I guess now there's a bit of time pressure. Now they have to be quick and make it to the next two diamonds of divination before he curses them as well. But I still don't know how they're gonna uncurse the diamonds. Maybe they go to Brandon and he knows a spell that can uncurse them. So I guess in the next chapter they go to Brandon with the diamond, and they ask him why the diamond is doing this, and he suspects that it's been cursed by the god of curses. And he also suspects that the god is gonna go to the other diamonds of divination and curse them as well, because he just likes death and death curses. So the moral of the story is to never give up on your friends, even when all seems hopeless. So I was on my way home from work one day, and I saw this homeless person, and he was like, "Please, I need some cash. I haven't eaten in days. Could I just have some spare change?" And I never felt so pressured to give someone some change. Usually I see a homeless person and they're not all up in my business about getting some cash. But this guy was like all up in my business about getting some cash. And so I felt really pressured to give him some money, so I reached in my bag and grabbed out 50 cents, and that seemed to do the trick. And I got to thinking, what mistakes could have landed me in the same situation that this guy is in? Because, like, if I do end up like him, then I gotta blame myself, because that's the only way that I'm gonna improve and get myself off the streets, is if I blame myself and see what I did wrong and improve myself. And like, one of the biggest mistakes that I made that might make me homeless is probably my gym membership. Like, it's $16.95 per week, and that's probably more than I've ever had to pay on like a subscription service type thing, where money is being taken from your account every week. That's more than I ever had to pay, and it's not essential. There are other ways to work out. There are other ways to exercise and stay healthy than submitting to this company that just wants your money. And I still submitted to them. And this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I made that might put me in a similar position as this homeless person. And also, giving money to online strangers who turn out to be scammers. This is also one of the worst decisions you could make that might turn you homeless, is giving money to people online who are just lying to you. This is another thing that could turn someone like me homeless, who's kind of naive and basically does anything as long as you tell me what I want to hear. And like, another thing that could make me homeless is like neglecting the family business. Like, think about it. I could be making $1,000 a week off of the family business, but right now I'm kind of avoiding responsibility for the family business, and I'm not making any money off of the family business. And this is another decision that might make me homeless, because if I was making $1,000 a week from the family business, plus making $900 a fortnight from working at Hotel Indigo, then I'd probably never be homeless. And also, like, eating out. Like, if I ate at home, then I'd never have to eat out. And like, even if you eat out once a day, that's still a lot of money. Like, even if you spend like $6 or $7 eating out once per day, that's still a lot of money. And you could save that by eating at home. but you're still eating out. And why do you do that? Just for the convenience. You're already out and about. And so you're just doing it for the convenience so you don't have to drive all the way back home. So the moral of the story is you gotta replace these bum habits with success habits. That's how you're gonna make it, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.